let's tackle the hair problems in this image. So again, after we save the picture, we just make a new selection. We go on Edit, Copy Merge, and paste it. And we're gonna call the new layer Hair, because we're gonna edit some hair. Okay, so let's bring up the problem layers. Okay, so we have some hair problems here and here. We have some white hair lines going out of the place. We solve most of the issues with the image. We also fix the lips and the wrinkles around the face. And now it's time to tackle some hairs. In this image, what I want is to remove some hairs that it's protruding into our background. And for this, it's a very easy task. We go again and choose the clone stamp tool, zoom, get a sample, and then paint the hairlines. If you get confident and you have a neutral background and you don't have many differences in it, you can increase the opacity. Shrink the brush a little bit and just like this, make these hairlines disappear. Again, we don't want to get rid of everything because we still want to feel natural. And of course, for a natural picture, there's gonna be some hairs protruding into the background, but not so many. Just like this, getting rid of these wild hairlines. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. What you don't want to do is to increase the brush size, take a sample and just go like this into the model's hair, because this way you'll create an uneven line and it's not gonna look natural. But this way you got to choose which hair you want to get rid of, so in the end you get a better result. Even if it's gonna take a longer period of time editing, it's gonna totally worth it. And after a while you gonna speed up this process and you're gonna work a lot faster. See the way I am following the hairline and not removing anything else? Here we don't want a straight completely line. Let's see. Let's go back and see how it looks. Well, looks better already. It doesn't look too refined right now, but I'm gonna show you a trick after we get rid of the biggest hairlines here, like this. So look at this here. We can get rid of this Notice that I'm only sampling the background and I'm not interested in something else. What you can do here with this big hairline, let's say you have more than just one hairline. What you can do is go here with the patch tool. Let's say you have a bigger area. Just circle it around and it's gone. There are many tools that you can use to solve different kind of problems. There isn't just one way of doing things. You after a while you'll notice you can find more than just one single tool. It's important to know all of them, and then you'll decide what to choose to keep in your workflow or not. What's easy for you or not. All right. We have some thin hairlines into our model's ear, and for this we can try to see if healing brush tool is working. Okay, so it's working perfectly. Also get rid of this. Because we have so many differences and the way the ear is formed naturally, we have so many shades of colors and highlights and shadows, and it will be hard for us to use the clone stamp tool. We use the clone stamp tool here onto the background because usually the background is uniform and it's simple to use the same tool over and over again. But here, because let me show you, because we have different colors, it's much harder to use the clone stamp. Look, if I'm sampling this and go over the hair, it's much harder. But the healing brush tool works like a charm here. Notice how if I'm moving closer to an edge, I'm sampling the edge. The key is to sample right. If you know where to sample from, the Photoshop tools works perfectly. I think we can get rid of this big hairline. And also this. No. This one. I'm gonna show you a cool trick here. I know this looks a little bit unnatural, but I'm gonna show you a natural way to create some hairlines and cover this area up. Go to smudge tool. Here under the gradient tool you have smudge tool, and I go to 95% lower, making my brush smaller, and then I go like this. And look at this. This looks more natural than what we had. I know you see here some facial hair, but don't worry, we're gonna tackle this later on. Now let's just focus on removing this hair. Back on the healing brush. And move on. Now I'm switching up to the clone stamp tool, lower my opacity to resolve these color problems that sometimes the clone stamp give us. I think with our clone stamp we made this area a little bit highlighted, and what we can do is go to our burn tool, decrease our exposure a little bit, and just paint over the area. And I think I want to fix this part a little bit more. This is not considering overdoing it. Don't think so. Yeah, okay. And here we are. Now we have a clean ear. Look at this. Like it wasn't there. Like it wasn't there. Also, with the same technique, using the smudge tool, you can also create some hairlines in the direction of your hair like this. Maybe we can increase it to 97%. And this way you can fill in some gaps, or maybe you want some directional hair where patches or something like this. You can create some hairlines, and these are very, very natural hairlines that you can see. And now after we edit, we can see here, because of the hair, it makes the head look a little bit strange. So how are we gonna correct this? We're gonna correct this using the Liquify tool. You might heard of this tool using to skin down models and people on the cover of the magazines. And we're gonna do like this. Filter, and we have here Liquify. But now we're gonna use this Liquify tool to solve our hair problem. Because of the way the hair is sitting, it makes these waves in our model's head. And we are going to the first tool here. We're gonna increase the brush size. I think it's too big. We're gonna leave the pressure at 30%. No, I think I'm gonna make the brush a little bit bigger. Now I'm just clicking and pushing our hairs down a little bit. This tool is similar to the smudge tool, but smudge is just getting a sample and smudging the colors out of its place. This liquifying tool is actually moving the whole image, is not creating a smudge, it's just moving the whole image, just like a warp tool will do. Now I want to create a bigger brush size, and I'm just holding the click and bringing down this hair. Now I'm gonna click OK, and now look at this. We have a perfectly round head. This is before and this is after. Now we fix most of the hair. In this picture, because my hairstylist did a very good job with the hair, and this is a shot doing in the first period of the shooting, in the very first hours, and the hair is not frizzy or anything. The model didn't switch up 3 outfits already, and the hair in its place. But what if, and that's why I also kept this image, what if at the end of the shooting the hairstyle changes and we have a lot of fuzzy hairs? Like, as you can see, we have different kind of hairs and different colors going in multiple directions, and you want to fix that. Let me show you a cool trick that you can do. I'm just gonna go back into this image, and I'm gonna show an example on these 3 big white hairlines. I'm just gonna create a new layer on top, and I'm gonna call it hair correction. I'm using the clone stamp tool again. For this trick, you need to switch the sample current layer to current and below. So our clone stamp tool can sample the below layer and move the mode, the blending mode, to darken. And what this will happen is it will sample, but our sample will only affect the highlighted area. So let me show you. Let me decrease my brush size. Let me sample, and now it's sampling the below layer. And now I'm just gonna paint. But first, let me increase the opacity around 90%. I'm sampling the below layer, and then I'm painting over my white hair. So keep in mind, this layer will affect only the white part of the hair. I'm moving to this part of the image, and again, I'm doing the same thing. Everything is masked out. Now I want to zoom out. Now look at this. Let me show you on the second image, because I think here you will understand better what's going on, and how you can clean up the whole image. Again, making a new layer, we have the same settings, darken, opacity set on 90%, flow at 91%, and we sample the current and below layers. So here we go. Look at this. We are just removing all the white hairs into this area. This is the easiest way of removing these highlighted hairs. Now this creates a very good base of editing further more the hair. Also notice how I'm going with the line of the hair and not against it. Now let's zoom out. Look at this front part. This is way better. And this is how you clean up. What if you want to fill in patches? Let's see this patch. I'm gonna highlight it for you. What about this patch? Maybe you want to fill it in. Well, you go on the stamp tool again, reset your colors, go on the normal, have the sample current and below, sample the hairlines, and then just paint on top of this patch. And notice how I'm moving my mouse exactly the way the hair would look like. Or maybe this area, or maybe this area. And now look at this. If I'm hiding this layer, is looking now even better. Look at this. And this is how you fix hair. Now we're going back into our image. And now we're gonna tackle the main problem which lays behind her neck here, which is a big lump of hairs.